Hey everybody, welcome to the Watch and Listen podcast. This is a video podcast all about watches. I'm your host, Matt Farah, and I do this show with my friend Cameron Weiss, the master watchmaker and CEO of the Weiss Watch Company, making watches from scratch right here in Los Angeles, California. Yeah, buddy, this episode is brought to you by Crown & Caliber. It's the best place to buy secondhand luxury watches online, whether it's a Rolex, a Panerai, an Omega, Cartier, Tag Heuer, whatever it is. If you want it, they've probably got it. If they don't got it, they can use their extensive network of resources to find it for you. Crown & Caliber is different than other secondhand retailers, right? Whether you want to buy a watch, sell a watch, or trade a watch, it all goes down through their website. If you're selling, it's a quick and easy 5-minute process. And if you're buying, the prices are fair and it comes with a satisfaction guarantee. If the watch isn't running like it's supposed to, their team of watchmakers in-house will get it fixed for you, even if it's a vintage watch. No risk involved. Check out crownandcaliber.com and use code CAM150, CAM150, for $150 off your first watch purchase at Crown & Caliber. That's code CAM150, $150 from us. We are also sponsored by Beeline Coffee. I love this stuff. I drink it daily. The Smoking Tire Roast 2.0, the roasted tire, is out. Weiss Watch Company, their new roast is coming out very shortly. I think you can still get the original. They've got their espresso beans, their decaf. You can buy one bag, a dozen bags, or a monthly subscription. And if you use code CHRONO, CHRONO, you get 15% off your total order. 15% off at BeelineCoffee.com. All right, on this show, we are talking about independent watchmakers, and those can be inexpensive, they can be very expensive, but they are watchmakers unbound by tradition and able to experiment. We are joined by Mike Senderovich of the On Time podcast for this one, and this is a fun show. It wanders all over the watchmaking universe. It's real cool. Watch and Listen podcast. Here we go. How's everybody doing today? Today, we're talking about independence. Those manufacturers without affiliation or corporate backing?
I don't know. That's the debate.
It's kind of, something like that.
Well, we'll have to figure out a definition in this show. Michael Senderovich from the On Time podcast. What's happening, sir?
Not much.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
And the Road Stories podcast as well.
Yeah.
Podcaster.
Yeah.
Podcast.
Yeah, master of none.
Master of follow his ass on Instagram. That's On Time Mike on Instagram.
If you're lucky, I might even post a picture of my ass.
Oh my God! You got pictures of watches and fucking cars and beers, and your Instagram could easily be any of our Instagrams. I think.
Yeah.
We all have interchangeable Instagrams.
Yeah.
But when you said, I said, get to come on the show. We got to talk about something specific. You threw out independence because you said you were particularly passionate about it.
Yeah.
So what? And can't we have an independent?
Yeah.
In our studio.
Right.
So we're just gonna talk about Cameron the entire time.
We
Perfect.
can.
I know plenty about Weiss Watch Company.
What does make something independent, Cameron?
For me, there needs to be a watchmaker who is personally involved in the ownership of the brand and also the design.
Okay.
To me, that makes it independent. So there's some brands that stand alone outside of a big corporate structure, and they just have one watch brand that they produce, but I don't necessarily consider them a true independent watchmaker. I consider them an independent brand.
Okay.
So that would be brands like Audemars Piguet.
If the brand outlasts the original watchmaker, then what?
That's something that
then
we're
it's no
we're
longer
still,
independent?
Yeah, we're still trying to figure that out right now because there haven't been too many brands. All of them like Breguet. Think about Breguet. It has absolutely nothing to do with Breguet, who the brand is named after.
Is there a
now.
person? There's a Breguet person?
There was.
Yes, there was.
Long time ago.
How
Abraham
long
Breguet.
ago?
Oh shit! 300 years ago?
Yeah.
Almost.
I went to the Breguet Rodeo Drive store. They had a happy birthday tourbillon party. What the fuck is that? Wow, if you go on to Breguet's website, there is like some really bizarre solar spy ship.
You sure you're on the right website?
Shit is gangster. Yeah. Oh, look, see, there's the marine thing.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
So
But-
Breguet's a good example where the watchmaker's gone, and now they're Swatch Group, and
I asked
it's
them
just
to
different.
come on the show. I asked the CEO who was there to come on the show. He said he would love to. I said, could you bring some watches? And he said he can't.
Really?
Can't come on the
Really?
show and bring watches because they need armed escorts to bring watches.
Huh.
That's the thing.
I'm sure
Wow.
we
I
could
was
work
like
that
this-
out.
I
We've
was
got
like
some
the
people.
well,
who know some
I just said
people.
we have to find some somewhere else or something. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, I did try on a watch there that was $500,000.
Oh yeah, with
was-
Breguet, it's easy.
it was- yeah, it was-
or Breguet or however
Breguet-
you want to pronounce it. Breguet.
Breguet.
Breguet, just
Yeah.
Breguet, right?
Breguet.
It was lovely. I mean, when I put it on my wrist, I felt sexy. I felt like I had a $500,000 on my wrist. It had when they started throwing the double tourbillons in there. It's like just because.
Was it the Guilloche dial?
Yeah.
That's it.
I think it's
Hell of a
called
watch.
like the New York or something like that. But it's like it was.
I don't know what the names. The Swiss have interesting names for their watches. Let's just.
It was-
aside from like Rolex.
It was under masterpieces. Wait, timepieces, masterpieces. Oh my god, that's too much. Wait, tourbillon. Their website is very slow.
Well, he
Oh, here it
was the
is,
inventor
yeah.
of the tourbillon, so that's really their line. Like their Guilloche and their tourbillons are, out of
Yeah,
sort.
these are. Here you go. Here's how you could spend $500,000
Yeah,
right there. Look at that. That is crazy.
yeah, that's a beautiful watch. The La Tradition
That is
is
so
with the
crazy.
Fusee. Have you ever worked on those, Cameron?
No.
No? But those are. Yeah,
I've
those are
played
crazy.
with them.
Would you
but
service
not, like,
this from the
servicing one.
front, or do you service this from the
There's
back?
your guy.
Seriously.
I mean, you're still working on both sides of the movement.
Yeah.
But yeah, you would actually be as a watchmaker, you'd be looking at the back of a movement mostly because most of the parts are put onto the back of the movement because the main plate is in the front.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, your main plate is actually in the back, so you'd be working on the top of the movement mostly. So
I bet
kind of
this-
like you said,
this
yeah.
watch seems kind of hard to tell time on. I'm honest. For $500,000.
I don't think it's for that. For
It's
half a
not.
million, you
It's
can
not
get a lot
for-
more accurate on your iPhone.
It's not for telling time.
Yeah.
It's basically flashing an ATM receipt.
Yeah,
around.
pretty much.
Is what that's for.
But they're kind of stealth because they have like this look that a lot. I'm gonna get killed for this, but like some fossils have
Yeah,
kind of that look.
totally.
It's super under the radar. Like a lot of guys that own these things, and especially guys that not especially. I can't make that like super general of a statement, but a lot of the guys that I've met that own independents are super under the radar, and that's actually why they buy independents because they don't want that crown. They want to be like, hey,
Well, if you
I
look
know
at
I
this
got
watch,
something.
this watch is either $12 or $500,000.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Because there's like a bunch of Chinese movements and like garbage out
Sure,
there that
yeah.
like attempts to look just like this, and gets like 75% of the way. You know what I mean? It doesn't.
Yeah.
It obviously doesn't work the same way, but like someone who doesn't know any people still go on Reddit and they're like, "Look at this amazing movement," and it's like a Chinese 5-cent thing. Like, you know what I mean?
It's
It
funny you
happens.
say that because I knew a couple of people that got fake watches, like fake Breguets or fake whatever, something similarly, something that doesn't have like the traditional Rolex or
Uh-huh.
IWC fake or something like that. And they were like, check this out. And I'm like, oh man, I really don't want to spoil what you got going on there. But I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, like that's beautiful.
It's
That's
always
great.
that open heart thing that people
Yeah.
think is a tourbillon
Yeah.
mistakenly.
And a lot of those, sometimes I'll see people that have fakes, like a Breguet fake, and they didn't know it was fake because they didn't know Breguet existed. They just saw a cool
For
watch
sure, yeah.
on
Oh,
Canal
yeah.
Street, and they said, "Whoa, that's cool," and they bought it. And then later on, somebody who knows watches says, "That's a fake Breguet." And they're like,
Oh, like no,
What?
no, no.
Yeah.
This is the real Breggie.
yeah.
On Canal Street, this is the genuine Breggie. So where do you start a conversation about independence beyond saying, okay, there's a watchmaker involved? So we just start rattling off brands we like or what?
Yeah. You could
What
go
is
that
it?
way.
There's
What
a
is
whole list.
what does it take to
So-
start a watch company? We went through, you know what I mean? Because it has to be more than just a watchmaker, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of great guitar players out there, not necessarily playing in great bands and selling millions of records.
Yeah.
So
You need design, you need manufacturing, and you need watchmaking.
and business,
And then you need all the business side, all the
Yeah.
marketing and sales and everything. there are some independents who have a lot going on the marketing and sales side, and then there are some independents who have nothing. They don't even have websites. We just
found this one. Here's Philippe Dufour. No shit. And I know these are really nice watches, right? I've seen these watches. Swear to God, Philippe Dufour's website was created on Netscape.
Yeah, dude, this is pre like Silicon Valley bubble.
Bro, these watches are expensive as hell, right?
Yeah.
These watches are like 5-6 figures, right?
If you can stand to wait for one new, and you call him and order one and get on the books, then they're relatively expensive. But if you don't want to wait, they're even more expensive.
To get one,
to buy one at auction secondhand.
Oh, whoa, shit! Hang on, price is not official. Let's just
those are very outdated.
This website's
prices.
so old it won't even let me zoom in. Okay, so 37 millimeter platinum, 64,000 Swiss francs.
Yeah, for a simple time-only watch. But that's inexpensive compared to what they go for if you want one now.
And how much? How much to get one right now?
A couple $100,000.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, because a lot of independents. Not a lot. Again, I won't make like that super broad of a statement, but a lot of them take a dive in value because it's not really a well-known brand. But he's got this whole thing going about him. Actually, Hodinkee was one of the very first ones to like really bring him to the forefront.
Well, here's a Hodinkee from 2017 that has found one on site. I mean, honestly, simple.
It's like
it's called the
It's like your it's like your watch.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
exactly.
This is like your. Here, put yours under the camera, Cameron. Okay, here's Philippe Dufour. Here's Cameron Weiss.
There you go.
Philippe Dufour, Cameron Weiss.
Matt said it, not me.
Right?
But, this is a damn good deal.
Philippe Dufour.
At $950.
$950. $950 here. $250,000 here.
Yeah.
That's what they said. This one says 250 G's.
And it's all about the artist, really.
Yes.
The watchmaker is the artist. And so, like you were saying, some of them just take a huge dive when you buy them. You don't know. Maybe in 50 years it could be way, way up.
Oh, totally. Yeah. It's impossible to predict anything.
You just have to buy what you like.
Yeah.
And enjoy it while you have it.
Well,
just like a piece of art.
Dufour. Here's his movement, which admittedly is very, very gorgeous.
Yeah. He's the master of decoration. That's Philippe Dufour.
Okay.
He's the guy that knows how to decorate, and he's the guy that decorates the best. He's the guy that people go to for decoration and, like, consulting wise. I'm sure he doesn't.
Is this guy? Sure. All right. Here's a Cameron. Is this guy Philippe Dufour? Is he going to have suppliers, or is he making every single part of that watch for $80,000 or whatever he sells it for?
He is of the group of watchmakers that will purchase parts.
He'll
purchase the parts from
and then decorate them himself.
And then decorate them. So his focus is on decoration and design.
Does he design movements, or does he just?
He does. He has designed movements. So what he'll do is he'll order the parts, and it'll be a small batch of parts, something very small, 15 parts or something, and then they'll all be meticulously hand finished. And the hand finishing is what takes a lot of time. The parts, they're made by CNC machines, just like we do with our watches, to the highest level that a CNC machine can really produce.
Right.
But the hand finishing afterwards is where they're really spending all the time creating a masterpiece.
It's crazy.
What was his timeline of getting a watch like years back when he was actually fairly active? It was like I think 3 to 5 years or something like that, or a year or something like that.
When I first heard about him, it was like there's this guy in a workshop, and you have to either stop in or you have to call, and then you have to try to get on this list.
Yeah.
And
He's totally like that.
It's about 2 years, but you don't really know. It could take longer if he doesn't feel like working a few days, every week. Yeah. But it was 2 years when I first found out about him, and I was really into watches. So I was like, I wasn't even in the know, I guess.
Yeah.
There was 2 years worth of people that wanted his watches.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did he work at Paddock or something, or was this guy always just an independent?
That's a good question.
Not always an independent. No, he worked for other companies, then became independent.
I mean, I realize we're supposed to be talking about general. Well, we're not. Fuck that. We're not supposed to talk about anything. We can talk about anything we want. I'm just curious. Oh, here, wait. What does this say? Employed by Audemars Piguet. Here, wait. Sorry.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense that he was
went to technical school at 15 years old. He became, I'll let everyone know that, became a watchmaker in 1967, employed by JLC, The watchmaker Gabriel Locatelli gave him great knowledge of horology. He then worked in the Caribbean islands, nice, and came back to Switzerland in 1974, employed by AP and Gerald Genta. He gave life back to old and very complicated watches, including a lot of repeaters, working for the Osvaldo Patrizzi workshop. He made 5 grand sonneries for AP and then decided to produce watches under his own name in 1989. So he was that guy. We've talked about the guy
Yes. Yeah.
where if you're buying that $1 million grand complication from AP, that it's all done by a
One
dude.
guy, yep.
Yeah.
And so he was that dude. Okay, so yes, he was somebody first.
Yeah.
That's
No,
probably
you-
a good
you
way to
can't,
be independent, is to be somebody first.
Very hard to start from nothing. You really have to learn from other watchmakers. So you're typically going to work for somebody else and produce under their brand and then branch out on your own when you feel like you have achieved a high level of watchmaking where you could actually impress people on your own.
Right.
All right. Well, this is going to be a hard picture to zoom in on. It's not a good picture,
Yeah.
but for that, he sells that simple thing we just showed. But
Yeah.
this also appears to be some kind of ridiculously complicated submarine that you wear on your wrist as well. It's a grand sonnery that I'm sure it plays like a symphony or something, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So he's a boss. What else should we be looking at? You immediately said Roger W. Smith.
Yeah. The man, the myth, the legend.
And I said earlier, you asked about what happens when the guy dies.
Right.
When the guy who is the watchmaker or whoever behind the brand dies. Well, we saw it with George Daniels.
Uh-huh.
And there is no more George Daniels.
Remind the folks what happened when
So-
George Daniels died.
George Daniels, we talked about him in another episode. He was a
did.
big car guy, big
Yeah.
car collector, but he was on Isle of Man making watches the very old-fashioned way, making hairsprings on his own from carbon steel, making everything. He even wrote a book called Watchmaking, and he tells people how to make jewels, how to actually drill out and polish jewels for watches. Unbelievable what he achieved in his lifetime. But only a few watches, just a handful of watches that he made in his entire
Well,
life.
here's a picture of one.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, that's not even a watch that
Oh,
he
that's a
would have made.
reissue.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
a reissue?
Well, that's a Roger Smith, which is a Daniels watch, which Roger Smith would have made. So
Oh, shit.
Roger Smith was his apprentice. He was like the only apprentice
Yeah.
to Daniels, which is insane. And
Yeah.
his stuff is
So where
basically a
do I
continuation.
look for a Daniels watch? Are these Daniels watches?
Those would be,
Yes.
yeah.
These
yeah.
are Daniels watches.
Yeah,
Oh.
he was mostly pocket watches. He
These
had
things are crazy. There's
Yeah,
like
they're
5
nuts.
dials on every single
Yep.
fucking one. Yeah,
So,
okay. He gets points for being out of his mind.
So he had made that series, and he was working with Roger at the time, and Roger was helping him finish all these watches, but he passed, and they were completed without him, basically.
Huh. And so Roger W. Smith, who wants to take a what watch do we want to look at?
you could look at all of them. I mean, Series 1 was the first one.
Series
It's
1.
kind of convenient how they're all Series 1, 2, and 3, and 4. That's like the quintessential Roger Smith watch.
What does it cost to get into a Roger
I
Smith?
think, yeah, it cut like $250, I think. Somewhere around that. Starting somewhere.
And
it might
again,
be
ju-
like in the
this is
hundreds,
just-
but it'll
Yeah,
climb.
what are the numbers like? I think he does 30
limited.
watches a year
Yeah.
or something.
Oh,
It's
that's
very limited. But he has a team of other people that he's training, so it's a bigger operation than when it was just
Right.
George Daniels.
Reminds me of like Dale Chihuly. Dale Chihuly's got,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to- Dale Chihuly's got
And-
like
and
a,
he's-
a team of people. Yeah, he's got the eye patch.
Yep. And he can't make the glass anymore, but he
Yeah.
has the vision. And
These
the
are
design.
very pretty, but they're also formal, right? Really,
Yeah.
really very a formal watch.
Well, it's pretty much a continuation of what Daniels did. Like it is the Daniels look. It's the Daniels coaxial that's in there. The escapement's coaxial.
Designed and
yeah.
made on the Isle of Man. So
Yeah.
not Swiss.
No.
How about that?
And arguably the best living watchmaker in the world.
And he's not Swiss, and the watches aren't Swiss.
No.
How about that?
But he did work at Tag Heuer for a quick minute.
Yeah, it's kind of
assembling, like-
funny. He
yeah.
worked at Tag, and
It's
that
funny,
was
that
when he
seems
was
beneath
like
him.
writing letters to George Daniels.
Yep.
Asking, "Can I come to your workshop and can you teach me?"
Yeah.
And I guess after the story was that he invited him to the workshop, and
Yep.
and then they just became partners. He was his apprentice, basically.
Yeah, he was
The only
working
guy.
on a pocket watch, And basically, he wanted to take that pocket watch to George Daniels to get the okay, like, hey, did I do okay? And George Daniels basically said, no, you got to keep working on it.
The Great Britain. Here's a watch that's one. I think it looks like he just made one.
Yeah, with him, anything is possible. I mean, it's a super. Everything that you see is built and or constructed in his factory, which I wouldn't even call a factory, in his workshop.
In his workshop.
The bezels, he hand makes the bezels. Like, he'll actually take a bar of gold.
Jesus, look at that. The open dial.
Yeah. It's
Whoa.
beautiful.
That's crazy. It's tough to read, but real crazy. Wow. Single wheel version of the Daniels coaxial escapement. What is a quadrajust balance, Cameron?
Let's get a picture of it. It's probably 4 screws on there. Yeah. So you've got 4.
Whoop. Sorry.
Four eccentric weights on there.
Oh, so you can adjust it at 4 places. Yeah.
But it's unique because it's actually in line with the rim of the balance, as opposed to being inside the balance or outside the balance.
Right.
Does that make sense? You see how there's the...
It's on the actual...
Yeah, it's on the actual diameter of the wheel.
Wow, man. That is so cool looking.
You see the decoration on there?
This decoration here,
so that's the only thing he doesn't do. He actually sends that out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's got an engraver that does the decoration for him.
My dad is really into shotguns.
He would love
very
these.
fine shotguns, and he got a shotgun from Italy. It took 5 years for the guy to make. One guy. Huh?
Wow.
Benelli?
It's a Fabry.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, it's an Ivo Fabry, and you order it and you get it in fucking 5 years.
I'm sure they're like similarly priced. Those things fetch like, how much is a shotgun like that?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a Ferrari.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You can take it to an auction and they save you the wood for the matching wood if you want to get the pair. It's fucking nuts.
Wow.
It's so nuts. I'm going to drop into one of my favorite independents.
HYT.
I like HYT because I think they build alien shit, and alien shit is awesome.
Yeah.
Liquid watches like this in you read from the side, which is real crazy. This is the typical, the H1. Oh, come on, internet. Which they basically got like 2 kind of bellows, and it just sort of pumps this liquid around.
Yeah.
Why can't I pull it up? There we go. Thought we had good internet. So here you can see the green liquid gets pumped around the bezel with these 2 kind of pumpers.
Yeah.
So awesome. Also $75,000 or something.
Yeah, but that's the thing with independents. Independents, they can do shit like this.
Why can the independent do this? Because someone's willing to pay for it, or
They don't have to make high volume.
Yeah,
It's
and
not like
they're all
Rolex.
apeshit
do
crazy.
these companies do they make money, these companies?
Some of them can. It really depends. It depends on their structure. Some of the independents, they have very little business sense, and it's more about art rather than business and making money. The money is secondary. It's the joy of making the watch, and so you're in this realm of artwork.
It's a really long way of saying no, they don't make money.
It depends on the independent. Some of them, like with them, they're hiring outside engineers and outside companies to design it. So they're more likely to make money because they're not actually trying to do everything in-house. And when they get these bids back for how expensive something's going to be, they can actually plan the business around it and figure out if it's feasible.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it does it with something like this. It's not so much about how much of it you can make in-house from that perspective. It's really just about how crazy can the end product be.
Yeah. It's like a scientific experiment with art.
Well, I think that's also the common misconception with people and independents is they think that everything is done in-house with independents, and that's really not true. Like a lot of independents, for example, like Habring, they used to use...
Oh, why do I keep hearing so much about Habring? What is the story with them?
It's a husband and wife operation. I mean, I'm sure they're bigger now, but basically they're like the more affordable independent watch company.
Yeah.
They look a lot like IWC.
Here we go.
Yep.
Here's some Habring.
Like the Habring 1. That was a while ago that they put that together.
What's a good what should I look for? What's a good
Man, they
one?
have a repeater now. That's nuts.
You want to see the repeater? Ring a ding ding.
Wow.
Speaking of watches that make noise, I found we got tomorrow. We're talking about history of Seiko and Tag Heuer. Got all those tags behind us and stuff. But our friend Nick from DC Vintage Watches is bringing me a Seiko mechanical alarm that apparently sounds even more like a school bell than the Memovox does.
Sweet.
Really?
I'm really excited about. So this is a Habring repeater. Oh,
Yep.
How about that? So do they do their own movements, this company?
So what they've done is work off of an ETA movement. And so before having their own brand, they actually developed complications. So modules and things that you could add to base movements.
Cool.
Which is why they're able to actually produce something that's relatively affordable.
Well,
They can do some
this
cool
one is
split
also
chronographs and
pretty
stuff.
nice too. This Doppel Felix. That's
Yeah.
a nice looking watch.
Well, there you go. In-house caliber A11R,
Oh, how about that?
Yeah.
In-house movement.
which is
with a pointer
really
date.
recent. Yeah.
That's cool. Who we just Oris does pointer dates, right? That's what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that movement from the back. It's
So
a
this
manually
is,
wound movement. Beautiful.
Yes, this is the 7750 is what he's based most of his stuff around, that chronograph movement. And this was something I believe he created for another brand and then modified it and has it for his own brand.
Possible. Yeah, I don't know a lot about Habring. They're not really kind of my style when it comes to independents. When I like the independents that are just out there, like the kooky guys.
Yeah.
That's why I like, the Smiths. I mean, Smith is very formal, but he's also kind of the only one that does watches that are that formal and has such a limited line of watches that are pretty much kind of the same thing, just with different complications on them.
Yeah.
Like look at mb&F, for example, which we can actually... Do we have one? We have
What
one,
is
right?
this? You have an MB&F here?
We do.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
This has jumping hour seconds. This Foudroyante has jumping. They call it
Jump hour.
a
yeah.
jumping second. A jump in. I found a typo on their website.
Oh, that's a second. Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's like also known as like a hacking seconds.
Yeah.
Like JLC has one that's a hacking seconds.
Look
too.
at that weird, crazy thing.
Yeah,
Wow,
it's a
look at
spaceship.
that. What is that? That's an MB&F.
That's an mb&F, yeah. So mb&F stands for Maximilian Bucer and Friends, and he's one of the brands, you could say, who he's not a watchmaker. I mean, he worked for restoration, but he primarily did like corporate stuff. And then he put together this company, and basically he has watchmakers come in and design people come in and marketing people come in, and they have these limited runs of watches. And if you want to, like look at that.
Wow.
These are just...
And so this one's super cool too. Oh my god, I hate you. This stuff, it just looks like a flying saucer.
Yeah.
It's oh my god, look at this, the Fifth Element. What?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy shit. It's just really crazy
so
shit.
Crazy. What do these things go for?
A lot.
A lot?
Yeah.
Really a lot?
Yeah. Yeah.
And how do you would you read
Depends
the
on
time
the
on that
watch.
from the side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's in the front. So
Oh,
on
it's
your
like
wrist,
digital.
on your wrist, it's easier to read, obviously.
Because you put it on and read it sideways, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Exactly.
What were the ones from the 60s, 70s? What were they called? Oh man,
Wait,
it's on the tip of
Can
my
I
tongue.
try this? Can I try this thing on? It's too weird to not try on. May I? Thumbs up. Oh
That's
wow.
cool.
So-
Oh, it's light.
Yeah.
Titanium,
I-
right?
Titanium, yeah.
Yeah.
I expected it actually to be so much heavier. I kind of wish it was heavier, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
That is fucking weird, man. That's like it's like a Star Trek communicator.
Right?
Super weird, but kind of neat to look at time at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's actually like what you're looking at
that's
isn't the
so-
actual display. You're actually looking at a projection.
A prism.
Yeah.
It's a mirror reflection, right?
Yeah.
Like
So-
oh wait, we're off camera there, Cameron. There you go.
Sorry,
Yeah, so
I'm
this guy
just-
has no idea how to make watches. I mean,
That-
I'm sure he has some idea, but he's not a watchmaker. So all of this, what you're
He
looking
has-
at is a team of people coming
Yeah.
together and making these things. And this is an independent company. And actually, I've had the pleasure of meeting him a couple times and talking to him a couple times. And he's one of those guys that's really kind of transparent. I mean, as transparent
Yeah.
as he can be. They don't make a lot of money. Like, he lives a pretty modest lifestyle. And... he basically he's like, if we break even on a series of watches, then we're lucky.
That's
So-
crazy. See, so do you think is the actual movement, the actual engine that powers this thing, just kind of a normal movement that just has weird
they
display
start with
registers?
they start with a really nice base caliber, and then they build the watch around that.
Uh huh.
which is why they're actually quite reasonably priced for what they are. I don't know the exact prices on their watches, but you can have some for in the high 20s, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Pre-owned.
That one?
Yeah.
That one's in the 20s? 30. Okay.
Yeah.
That's less. I mean, it's crazy expensive, but it's less than I thought.
But what else is going to look like that?
No, nothing.
Right. So
nothing.
unique.
Yeah, nothing. So the flying saucer one I'm all about. This thing looks like it goes on your table.
Yeah.
And it has modules and shit that go in it called the Fifth Element, and that looks expensive. Yeah. That looks really expensive.
They've done some really weird shit. They have if you go to their the machines, they call them the machines, which is super cool. Yeah, look at the spider one. That one's just ridiculous.
Dude, this stuff is so weird.
Yeah, and you're a car guy, so horological machine number 5. Look at that. That's a Miura.
Wait, where's number 5?
Go to the right.
5 here.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is a Lamborghini Miura.
Yeah, look at the back.
Oh yeah, it is the back of a Miura. How
And he's
about
a
that?
huge car guy too. He's
That's very funny. These things are so weird and cool.
Yeah. So I got to play around with the one that you're looking at right now, right before that.
I like the legacy machines. I think those are really neat.
Yeah, the perpetual is the craziest perpetual calendar on the market.
Legacy machine perpetual. Whoa. How many parts are in that?
A shit ton.
That's gotta be
Perpetual calendar, that's got to be at least like 500 parts at minimum.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and this particular one is actually like it looks pretty fragile, but of all the perpetual calendars in the market, this one's actually pretty robust.
Really?
Yeah, because if you wind back in a perpetual calendar, I think Cameron, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think that's pretty much the most fragile movement aside from like a Grand Sonnerie or a minute repeater. Like you could bust a perpetual calendar pretty easily by doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
so
definitely one you want to read the instructions before you try to set it.
Yeah.
I still haven't touched mine once.
Yeah.
I've had it perpetual for, I don't know, 6 months now.
I mean, usually the problem is you end up falling
it.
behind because it stops running. So you just
Right.
same
you just
thing to
gotta go
do, turn the
forward.
hands forward until you get to the day you need to be at.
Yeah, you got a bitchin' one too. That's a Kurt Kloss movement.
I have the Kurt Kloss IWC. Yeah. And I love it. I wear it a lot. It's really tough. I've accidentally smacked it into a few things, and it's really easy to wear. I got it on a canvas strap that I really like. Shout out to Bosphorus Straps. Yo, he finally acknowledged me. Finally. I've been buying straps and talking about this dude in Turkey. It's like a dude.
Makes sense why it's called Bosphorus.
It's a dude in Turkey named Adem, and he makes these beautiful canvas straps that I love, and I've been talking about it for months. I've sent him so much business. Finally, he recognized me and sent me a thank you letter for the business and sent me a beautiful leather watch roll.
Nice.
As a thank you.
Dude, it's Turkey. Maybe his internet's dodgy. Who knows?
Yeah.
Dude, it takes like 8 weeks to get a strap from him. It takes so long, but the straps are so nice. I love this guy.
Nice.
Independent strap maker.
There you go.
This perpetual is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
That's not 30 grand. That's 500 grand.
No, it's not 5. It's actually pretty, like the mb&Fs are pretty reasonably priced. I think it's in the hundreds, like 125, 150 somewhere.
I mean,
around that.
it's so crazy to say that something like that sounds reasonable.
Right?
But it actually does for what you're getting there.
Yeah, but like if you look at a comparable perpetual, let's say from Patek or from Vacheron, you're in much higher price territory.
Yeah, you're still gonna be for a perpetual right around 100,000.
Yeah,
maybe a little bit less if it's
I got a good deal on my
skeletonized
IWC.
open work.
Oh, the Kurt Kloss.
I got a really good deal on the IWC.
Well, you can get like a Da Vinci or something like that perpetual calendar from IWC for like 10 grand.
Yeah. The Pilot is the one to have. Though. The Pilot's like the functional one. I like that.
Well, that's my favorite watch, period. But I can't wear it because I have child wrists.
You have little hands.
I have little hands too.
But you're lucky because you can wear vintage and I can't.
I don't like vintage.
I can't.
So I'm just an unlucky person.
You guys, Matt Jacobson was just in here with the dopest tropical dial collection you've ever seen. None of it would look good on me. It all looks too small. It's weird.
I think the subs.
The subs are fine. No, the subs are fine.
Just not the original sub.
No.
That one's
it's
a little
gotta
small.
Be. Yeah. What else? Oh, Cameron recommended Vianney Halter.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
What did you want to? Which watch did you want to show?
It doesn't even matter.
Doesn't even
It
matter?
has nothing to do with the watch itself.
The website
it has everything
sucks.
to do with how it's made.
What's the first one that he did? The really steampunk one.
The Antiqua?
Yeah, the Antiqua, I think. Yeah. Looks like someone dropped a bunch of acid either in
Oh
Vianney
my God,
or on the watch.
That is steampunky.
Yeah.
Right?
What does that do? So that's a day on the top left.
Yes.
Wow, the movement's so fucking crazy.
Yeah. He's just he's an artist, really, and he can make everything.
He makes it all himself.
These parts in this little workshop.
Have
And he's
you,
a car
have you
guy
met
too.
this dude?
I have never met him. I would love to meet him. But he's a car guy too. He's got some wacky cars that he works on.
This deep space one looks a lot
That's
like
his latest invention.
It really looks like the mb&F though. It's not. It's not entirely.
Well,
I think he's worked with mb&F.
exactly. So what
really?
happens is other companies like mb&F who don't necessarily they don't have the watchmaking in their brand, but they have these ideas. They can work with people like Vianney and come together so that they can actually get this item created. You have to work close with someone like him who has actually made these parts before and can figure out how to put it all together, decorate it all, and make sure that it actually functions.
Yeah, I wanted to see how much these things were. There's one on Chrono 24 for 55 grand from wherever that is.
Yeah, you're going to send money there, and you're never going to get the watch.
From not America.
Seeing that sign?
No, there's a couple
Or
other
the
ones.
flag,
There's some
rather?
price on request. Oh, the Deep Space Tourbillon, 261,000.
And these are watches you're never going to see one.
Like,
You will
how many
never
of these is this
see
guy gonna
one.
make?
A handful.
Like a dozen?
If that, yeah, sometimes
Yeah,
if that.
maybe. Some of them are so rare because you'll order one of these, and there might be a slight change in your model compared to the one you saw. You might like look at this. Somebody requested this and had that made for them.
This guy has
specifically.
a nice little matching Volkswagen something or other in
Right?
the background. Wait, can we talk about this person's Volkswagen for a minute?
Yeah, with
he's
the
got
Porsche
a
wheels
Beetle
on
with
it?
With
996 Carrera wheels on it and like a C3PO skin painted on this
That
thing.
might be a Vianney thing. Like he's crazy enough to do something like that. Like
You think
he
that's
might
Vianney's bug?
could have been, yeah.
Maybe.
I
don't
always
know. That
confuse him
wow,
and
the box it comes in. That's
yeah.
cool. It's like Captain Nemo's watch. That shit is dope, dude.
And
I think
Vianney is sitting there hand engraving these dials. He's not like sending them out to get engraved. He's hand engraving them
Bro, I
himself.
think 40 for this
watchmaker.
is not bad. Is that going to be made of gold?
yeah. Oh, for sure. All
mean,
of these are going to be precious metals.
That kind of
Yeah.
design for 40 and gold, to me, how do you service this?
well,
goes
that's
back
the
to Vianney.
question. Yeah.
Vianney services it.
Yeah,
That's
that's the
where
problem with
things- yeah.
independence because like if just like you guys were talking about in the beginning, when the guy dies, what do you do?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like that's John Ward comes in here, and he, in his defense of his doozy watch, which is $10,000 in a jump hour, and it's there's a basic movement under it that it's not an ETA, but
It is.
isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's Edo Shalita.
Yes, I forget exactly which movement it is. I think the 2892.
Whatever it is, his point is that you can get it serviced anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
And he's all about that, which is the same thing with his Icon trucks. You know what I mean? His Icon trucks use LS engines, and people are like, "Man, it's 300 grand. It's with an LS engine."
Right.
They sell this shit in Russia, and you can get it serviced there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a big deal. This thing is real crazy though. I can see
Right.
your pick.
I think from an artistic standpoint and thinking of somebody who has mastered so many different aspects of watchmaking,
Yeah.
things that are beyond watchmaking, like the engraving and the case making that he does, it's mind-boggling for me to think about somebody who can do all of that, and he does.
Does this one have diamonds in it?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
one's got diamonds in it too. This one's. I mean, I'm not really into diamonds, but sorry, but honestly, god damn it, pop up, fuck you, Chrono 24. But I'm not into diamonds, but that's pretty fresh. Actually.
It works on that watch. It definitely works on
You
that
know where I
watch.
kind of like the diamonds, the rainbow Rolex.
Oh my,
I
the
kind of
Daytona. The
like
leopard Daytona?
I kind of like the rainbow Rolex.
All right.
Cameron likes it.
I love
Cameron's
that watch,
nodding.
actually.
He likes the
I love
rainbow,
that watch.
the rainbow Rolex. It's
I
fun.
do.
Anyone else have any other votes for independence? What do you like?
Oh, I mean, there's plenty. There's Kari Voutilainen. He's a little bit more kind of like straightforward, but I mean, he's epic. Kari.
K-R-I-V-O-U-T.
Yeah, and it's funny because I used to confuse Kari Voutilainen with Vianney Halter because I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't look like him.
Oh, these watches, these have kind of a familiar look. Wait,
So,
these are sort of sort of very classic. Again, shitty website.
like you were talking about, some of these watches look like other watches or have some design elements and things like that. These guys actually do a lot of the work for the bigger companies.
That makes sense.
So he has a.
This
a
is like
shop
buying
where
a
they make
supercar
dials.
built by like buying a Multimatic
Yeah.
brand supercar, and you're like, what the fuck's a Multimatic? It's like, well, they engineered all the 4 GTs and all the Daytona prototypes and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, like Rimac, right?
Yeah,
Look at what he's doing.
Rimac for sure. Yeah, Mate Rimac if you're into Eastern European crazy electric cars is a good place to look. Look at that.
So Kerry was at the trade show that I was at in Switzerland. He had a booth.
Yeah.
Because he has a dial manufacturing company. And the reason he has it was because he wanted to make his own dials. And then it turned out it's really expensive to make those dials, and he needed to turn it into a business and sell them to other people in order to keep it profitable and keep the doors open.
These dials are gangster, by the way.
Yeah.
Gorgeous dials.
These dials are amazing. That
And
we're
he's-
looking at just these patterns of guilloche that are just beautiful.
And he's done that with the other parts of the watch too. His case making and movement components as well. He even has a partnership with another guy who they make complex things. So if you're someone like Audemars Piguet and you're trying to make this watch, but there's a part in there that you just can't machine properly, you can go to them and they'll figure it out for you, make the part for you, send it to you, and you just decorate it.
Yeah.
So kind of like Philippe Dufour can order parts, he could order them from someone like him from
Look
their
at this
business.
crazy lacquer dial. It's like splatter painted.
Yeah,
Right?
these guys. That's the cool thing
This
about
shit is
independents. They
dope.
they go apeshit crazy when it comes to designs. Like if you take a look
Super
at like
dope.
Christophe Claret, the guy makes like super complicated stuff,
How do
and
you spell that?
Christophe with the C, so
Oh.
it's Christophe. Yeah, there you go. P-H-E.
Oh. Christophe what?
Claret, there he is.
Oh, Claret.
Yeah.
Christophe Claret.
And the cool thing is like
Whoa,
these guys
hey,
haven't been
we
around for
found-
very long. You know, like
Yeah,
all
no,
these
this is some
brands.
advanced shit. What
Yeah,
is
like
this?
AP. How long's AP been around? For hundreds of years?
Yeah, hundreds of years.
Yeah,
These are
Vacheron
really
even
cool,
longer.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, these
Vacheron,
guys, you know,
300
they
something.
came into existence in the late 80s, early 90s is when independence really started to come around, because before that, I mean, it was
These
damn
are
near impossible.
Wild.
Yeah.
The dimensionality of this Claret, it's like very
Yeah.
three-dimensional with these cones spinning and like, oh, wow.
His casino watch is pretty bitchin' too.
Dude,
These
I'm
are a lot of
all about
watchmakers,
these fucking dome things everyone's doing now.
Yeah.
Everyone's making a little fishbowl
Yeah.
on your wrist.
Well, they're trying to stand out as well.
Yeah.
They're trying to create something unique
Yeah.
in order to stand out.
You know what I'm really feeling is Renaissance. The Renaissance. Is that pronounced right? Renaissance,
Resonance, I guess.
Renaissance. Whoa, that's a new one that's fucking crazy. Oh,
That's
have I
that's
ended up in the
Dietrich.
wrong place?
Yeah, I think you're on
this
some.
is like a
Oh no!
retailer.
distributor.
Oh no! The internet fucking lied to me. Here, wait. Check these out. These things are so crazy. They're they don't like. Okay, how do you explain this? The entire dial spins. It's a teacup ride.
Right.
Oh, here, look, it's animated. I don't have to explain it.
There you
So
go.
the entire dial spins, and then the sub-dials spin on the actual dial as it's spinning. Like, it almost looks like a digital, like, screensaver, but it's real.
Yeah.
So cool.
And you
'cause
wanna
it's
talk-
liquid filled in the
Right,
front.
right,
it is,
yeah.
Like
And there's a standard Ebosch. I always
wow.
get teased for my pronunciation.
What's Ebosch?
It's the base caliber, so the base
Yeah.
movement.
Uh-huh.
So I think that's an ETA. I made a 28, right? 20, just a base
probably a
28.
2892.
Yeah, probably.
That's a solid automatic movement.
Really?
It's just really good, easy to service, lasts a long time. Great movement.
I would totally fuck with this. This shit is dope. I love the way the crystal curves around the edges, and like it reminds me of like the compass in a globe on a boat.
Yeah.
You know, where you see the compass
very
kind of
much.
floating in that round globe. I love that shit. We had a nod. We did have a nod for FP Jorn, which I think is a good one
Yeah.
Yes.
to talk about. I follow the Jorn guy on Instagram, which is a good. He's got an ego on him, but considering he owns like 40 Jorns, I'm not entirely. Jorn's website stinks too, but his watches are crazy. Look at that
Yeah,
dial.
so he's one of the guys that I think has a lot of business savvy, because he's got boutiques. I mean, he's one of the larger.
He's got a store in
independents.
LA, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got a store on Sunset.
Do they stock anything? Can you go look at stuff?
Yeah.
They do stock stuff?
Yeah,
Okay,
they
cool.
throw events. That's actually how our little group kind of got started. We have a little group in LA called LA Watch Gang,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, it's kind of like where things came to fruition was at the Jorn boutique.
We've been hanging out with some of the Red Bar guys. They got to take over this shit. I don't know about this color, but This is like, oh wait, this website actually is from this century. Okay, cool. Here we go. Not bad. I just love his like sub-dial arrangements and just crazy stuff this guy does.
Yeah, his complications are nuts, man. He's also a crazy guy.
And then I got to give a shout out to RGM making watches in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
You said this is the one I want to buy, the Corps of Engineers enamel dial watch. I like this. It reminds me kind of Cameron's watch, but like taken to another level of decoration.
Yeah, I love that dial.
And I like it on this steel bracelet too, with the movement in the back. We're getting nods on the art. Look at that. I would like to have one of those by the end of this year. That's my next watch, I think.
Yeah, I think you're gonna look good with that one. I generally like to support brands that are based here, in, like for example, your brand. Like when we did a show on you guys, it was really cool to visit you guys.
That was a lot of fun doing that show.
Yeah. Like there used to be so many companies in like the United States was the powerhouse for watchmaking.
Oh yeah,
long ago, and obviously.
What is this thing about that you brought?
So this came to me. Actually, I want to do a couple of quick shout outs if I can. So that watch belongs to my dear friend Andrew.
The mb&F.
Yes, and you can find him on Instagram at jlee_5050. Yeah, so if you really want to look at some really crazy blue stuff, he's obsessed with blue colors. That's why that watch is blue as well. And this one is this was shipped to me from the East Coast. This is from my good friend Mike Margolis. He actually represents Moser and a couple of other brands.
So I know the name, but that's about it. To me, this looks like an Apple Watch case.
Yeah, so this was pretty funny.
Not to be a dick, but
this is actually exactly what they were trying to do. Yeah, this was kind of like a fuck you to Apple. Like, hey, look,
we could a social commentary watch.
Yes.
Kind of.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's what they're known for.
Really?
Actually, with their marketing. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. They just did a recent one, which is a tourbillon, which is kind of like. It's a clusterfuck. That's like the easiest way to look at it. Yeah, it's a combination of pretty much like every major brand. Like there's AP in it, there's Patek in it. Like the dial is a Patek.
Didn't they get like copyright infringed or something?
Yeah, they had some issues with it. Yeah. They're no longer releasing it. Yeah, so the one that we're looking at is the
Swiss Alp watch. Yeah, but then, well, actually, I mean, I wouldn't call these direct copies of other things. I mean, they look sort of...
there was a few that were like marketing pieces that were just
all right,
crazy off the wall watches, but this kind of
they make normal
came
watches
out of
too.
that.
Yeah. They're actually pretty well vertically integrated too. Like these guys are something. This brand is kind of tough to call an independent because it's technically independent, but technically not. It's taken over by the family that used to work or like handle AP. So yeah, I mean these things are pretty rad. The decoration is ridiculous. They're dials.
Flip it over, bro.
Yeah, it's a display back. The dials are actually like kind of their thing, but they're really vertically
integrated. It's cool
integrated.
that it's a square movement.
Yeah,
it's cool they haven't shoved a round movement in there.
And they have their own what do you call it? The springs.
The hairsprings?
Hairsprings.
Yeah.
Thank you. There you go.
Yeah.
So they're one of the few that actually has that availability to them. Like they actually own a company that manufactures hairsprings.
What do these things go for?
I think like 25. It's a
100
gold.
or 1,000?
No, 1,000.
1,000?
25,000.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this would be fun to have as kind of a goof.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope.
We're talking small brands with really
price.
high level watchmaking. So
yeah.
Well, I mean, look, this is a very beautiful watch and a beautiful movement, but I mean, it's obviously white gold, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So if it was steel, it would not be 25,000.
If it was steel, it'd probably be around 12. I would imagine would be their price at steel.
Yeah. If it was steel, it'd be an AP jumbo.
Yeah.
Or a Patek 5711.
Yeah.
What's one of the? Is this what does that say? Oh, is that retrograde seconds? Retrograde minutes?
Yeah.
Wow, retrograde minutes. That's pretty neat. Look at that. That's very cool. Oh, enlarge. It's basically. Wait, how does that work?
So it swings down, and then it just jumps back.
Yeah. But what is happening with the Roman numerals on top?
That is a good question. I guess that's the hour.
Those will be your hours, right?
Yeah.
That's the
kind
hour,
rotating
and it
on
like
a little bit of a belt-like system.
It's like a conveyor belt of hours.
Yeah.
Now the retrograde minutes though.
Look at the balance. The balance is just kind of like there, hanging out, and it looks like some kind of like magnification going on there too.
Wow.
Power reserve too. Yeah, it's got everything.
This thing is so weird looking.
Yeah.
How cool is that, though?
But that's the fun of independence. It's
totally.
like they just make some really weird shit that nobody else wants to do. Like there's a group of guys, they're called like H3 something, and they're the guys that basically provide all of the craziest shit to the major manufacturers, like the Jacob and Co. That stupid like tuna-looking
the
thing.
Astronomia thing.
Yeah. So it's like over
It's
$1
like
million.
Yeah. You ever see one in person?
No, and I don't
I'm
want
waiting
to.
to see one in person. I
Well-
just want to see how it, because it looks so silly and
It's stupid. Yeah.
yeah. But you know that watch on-ish guy? I follow
Yeah.
him on Instagram. I think he's got one. I gotta figure
Well,
out
yeah, I'm
whatever
sure he,
that
like-
guy's scam is, whatever he's got going.
Oh, it's not. They're a marketing company. Those guys
Yeah.
hustle. I've met them a couple of times. The guy, one of the investors, or one of the guys.
What are
I
they
guess
just?
like he
Are they
kinda,
just
like, runs the
marketing
show.
for all the hotels,
Pretty
and the
much,
private
yeah.
jet companies and shit?
Yeah. He was a bootstrap guy too. He used to walk around SIHH and Basel and like come to all these watch companies because everything in Switzerland is slow to move, especially when it comes to the Swiss watch world. So this guy would just like bootstrap it, walk around to every single booth and go, "Hey, let me market your watches for you. You guys are missing a huge demographic on social media." And eventually he started kind of getting more and more traction, and boom, like over 1 million followers.
Yeah, it seems like that guy's doing well for himself.
They're hustling, man. Those guys are hustling.
He reps what's that Kerbedan's watches he likes?
Yeah,
know
they
the
they,
fuck they
they
are,
have a
but-
bunch of different stuff that they've done work for.
Oh, you know who I like is that Chaikin guy, the Russian.
Konstantin Chaikin.
Konstantin Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, let me hit you with some Russian because I'm from the former Soviet Union.
Oh, yeah.
So if I don't pronounce it right, I
Please,
guess
please.
people
do.
are going to be upset. Konstantin Chaikin.
There you go. He builds some really fun stuff.
Yeah, the
Wait,
clown one.
the clown face watch. Wait, it's Russian time. Wait, how do I get to here? Collections.
You don't set the
Where's
watch,
the
the
clown
watch sets
face?
you, right?
Yeah. In Russia, the watch decides what time it is, not world. Where's the fucking clown
I think it
face?
was right there. It's,
Where?
To the
No.
right?
No. No.
The dialogue, right?
Is that it?
No?
That's clown
Nah.
face? That doesn't look like clown face. L'chaim, though. It's got some Hebrew.
Mazel, all right.
Oh, my God. It's so hard to...
I didn't know he was part of the tribe.
He's a Jew. Oh, my God. This is so frustrating. Hang on. Just like every other independent watchmaker,
Shitty website.
their website stinks. It stinks, but his Instagram is good.
Dude, they're barely able to keep their eyes and doors open.
Dude, his Instagram... Here, all I need is his Instagram. Here we go.
Yeah, there it goes. Clown to the right.
See, look, the fucking clown face. The eyes are subdials, and they Google the eyelid or the eyeballs. Google, bro, that's fire. And
Yeah.
I want one. He builds also like some of his like more traditional designs are like real cool too. I don't know. I like this guy. If I wasn't kind of in an anti-Russia mood, I'd like it more. But considering he's a Jew, I think I'm back on.
Well, hold on. We don't know if he's a Jew. With a last name like Chaikin?
He put the fucking Torah up on his website. He's probably a Jew.
Actually, if you want to see a Jew
don't
that's
just-
also an independent,
You don't just
what's his
drop
name?
Torah bombs.
Itai Noi.
Oh, I know. Itai Noi? What's he
Yeah.
about?
He's also an independent out of Israel.
Itai Noi?
I think it's Itai with a Y. Itai.
I-T-A-Y.
Yeah, there he is.
That's actually a transliteration. I've seen Itai spelled a bunch of different ways. What is this guy about?
Watches.
Other than being a
Generally.
Jew.
Yeah.
Other than being a Jew. Oh, wow. He makes crazy shit, too.
Yeah.
Look, we're finding all kinds of crazy shit on this today. What's worth... Oh, here. Look. L'chaim. You know what I love? They're all doing these... everyone's doing their Middle Eastern dial now, right?
Yeah.
You get the fucking... The day with the Middle Eastern dial. I'm going to start doing Hebrew dial.
Yeah.
Start that
Hublot. You
shit.
got to get a Hublot. My
Do they
mom
have a
sent that to
Hebrew-
me recently.
Hublot
She's
and
like,
Hebrew
check
dial?
this out. Yeah. Actually, that would be the only Hublot that I would,
$2,800?
I would own.
These aren't that
Yeah,
expensive.
they're actually, yeah, because they're ETA based too.
Oh, these are kind of cool. Oh, for $2,800, I'll fuck with this. It's a good bar mitzvah watch. It's like my little cousins for the bar mitzvah. These are cool.
Damn,
What
I
does
wish
this
he
guy
was
have?
working when I
These
had
guys
mine.
have fun designs.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this. Does anyone, if you wear an Itai Noi watch out, does anyone know what the hell you've got?
Probably not. I mean, he's
Yeah.
also super, super limited production. Like, check out Sarpa Neva, too. That guy's super limited, and he's...
Sarpa
yeah.
Neva.
He's not Swiss, which is also cool.
Where's Sarpa Neva from?
He's
Timo Sarpa Neva. Finnish.
Finnish, yeah.
He's from Finland.
So he's actually done work with mb&F, too.
Oh, cool, man. This guy's got some dope shit as well.
Yeah.
His
so
his
the
watches
one,
are very industrial, very dimensional.
Totally. That bottom one right there, that
This?
one, yeah, at night.
Does it
it's
glow?
Got, yeah. The
It's a
luminescence on
glowing
is nuts.
dial?
Yeah.
Bro. It doesn't glow? Oh, no, it does glow.
It does, yeah.
Is this guy, does Tell me this face moves behind as a moon phase.
Yes.
It's
Oh,
an
yeah.
angry
Yeah.
face. That is...
Yeah, the whole moon face thing, that's his thing.
Bro,
and
how
actually,
how much do these crazy glowy things
pretty
cost?
reasonable too.
Really?
Yeah. Like I
Available
think
for made to
below
order,
10.
available retailer.
Maybe like around 10. Maybe like somewhere
From
up or down,
Helsinki.
give or take a couple.
I want to go to like see the Northern Lights and then cop one of these. That whole face glows. It's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's nuts. Man.
Oh man,
It's
I really
nuts.
like that.
And the funny thing is like that little moon, that face.
Yeah.
He kind of modeled it after his own face.
So
you'll
looks
see.
like him.
Yeah, totally. You'll see like a couple of pictures here and there where he actually does that facial expression. It's pretty great.
Wait, let's
he's got
go back to
a
his
good sense of humor on
Instagram.
that.
Let's see. Oh man, he's got some good designs. Where's his crazy face? That's a great face for the moon.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, our internet is fucking up right now. We're supposed to be. I pay extra for good internet. I like this guy's designs a lot. He's really, really cool. Oh man, this
Yeah,
is such
there he is right there
Where?
to the top right. That's
Oh,
him.
that's
yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
It's not even Halloween. He looks like Dan Harmon after a bad acid trip.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if all these guys
That-
take some shit like
Oh,
some
here,
kind
look,
of DMT or something.
look, here's him and Chaikin.
Yeah.
I want one of these clown watches, dude. The clown watches are fire. That is great. Wow, thanks for coming by. I feel like I learned so much today. There he is.
There he
Actually,
is
that's
with,
Max Booster right there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I learned so much today. That was awesome.
It's funny how they hang out.
And then we got to finish it with our favorite independent, the Weiss Watch
Totally.
Company here in Southern
Yeah.
California. Plug it, Cameron.
Weiss Watch Company. You got to check out our website, and we've got some new stuff on there, including the new standard issue field watch.
Oh, here, I'll bring it back to you.
There you go.
And then, of course, if you buy a Weiss watch, any Weiss watch, and you type "watch and listen" in the description, they will throw in that. Oh, that's sorry.
Gotta take it out of the
Take it
bag.
out of the bag. You can use the bag for drugs later. They make the. There it is.
spring bar
They make the spring
changing
bar.
tool.
What's happened there?
Why is it so small?
What's going on?
That's
There
not
we
what she
go.
said.
Spring bar and changing tool and the strap. They'll hook it up nice.
Yeah.
The canvas strap is dope. I just said I need to get a new canvas strap for mine. And Michael Senderovich of the On Time podcast and the Road Stories podcast. Got to do that Road Stories podcast with you.
Hey, anytime.
I flaked on it earlier in the year because I was busy and retarded. But I apologize for
It's
that.
a good excuse. It's
And-
a good excuse.
Busy and retarded
Yeah.
is in this city is an appropriate excuse.
Yeah, you can't argue that.
It took me 3.5 hours to get back from the canyons today.
I'm not.
It was a
Listen, I've lived here the
disaster.
majority of my life. It took me. I did a whole kind of like loop-de-loop. I just went to Caltech to
Yeah.
get a filming permit or a photo permit,
Uh-huh.
and came down. I mean, I've been in the car for like 3.5
Yeah, I
hours.
know.
That's why as soon as I came
So
here, I was like,
crazy.
"Where's the bathroom?"
Oh, it's so crazy. Forget self-driving cars. The first person that has a fucking thing to piss into right here in traffic, they're gonna have everything.
Dude, that's Soviet style right there.
For
That's
sure.
how we used to go on road
in,
trips.
in Russia, this is called heater. Follow me at The Smoking Tire. Follow Cameron at Weiss Watch Company and Cameron M. Weiss on Instagram. And, of course, on Time Mike. On Time Mike.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. Thank you, Andrew, for hiding in the background while bringing in some dope watches. We appreciate that. And leave a comment if you've got another independent we should check out, because I imagine we're going to do Independence Part 2. Obviously, we just barely scratched the surface. And
Yeah, we'll
leave
definitely do more
Leave
independents.
us a comment of your favorite independent, and if we didn't get to it, maybe we'll try and get to it in the future. If you happen to be a dealer of independents and you want to come in with a briefcase full of dope shit, you could do that too. Thanks for listening, guys. We will see you next week. Good